once you have conviction and
Yes.
you have the right intention to
Yeah.
do that, it is half the battle won.
We have to start
Exactly.
dealing with this in our own heads first,
Hmm.
believing, accepting that we cannot do everything perfectly every day. And then,
Right.
like let others know, and of course, reach out whenever we need help.
Whatever you're doing, follow your passion. There is a thin line between passion and making it your bread and butter or whatever. Do that.
What's the funniest thing that has happened to you during a photo shoot?
Falling off from places.
Okay. Hi, Rashmi, and welcome to the About Her show, a show where we get trailblazing women to share the story of their lives with us, to tell us about their successes, failures, challenges, ups and downs. So, not only do they get to showcase their journey, but they also help us to inspire other women who are listening in. Women who have dreams and ambitions, but for some reason are, unable to pursue them. And of course, we also get men on the show who champion such women. So, a very, very warm welcome to you.
Thank you so much, Sangeeta, for having me over. It is truly an honor. Though we've known each other for the last almost a decade now.
Yes, yes.
And yeah, so yes, I have been following your podcast and the awesome, great work that you've been doing in different avenues. And it is truly rewarding for me to be a part of this program today.
Well, it's wonderful to have you here, and I'm so glad we could finally do it. Yeah.
Yes.
So, let's get started. So,
Sure.
just a little icebreaker. So, if you could tell us a little bit about your early days, your journey, and how you think those experiences shaped your personality and helped you become the kind of person you are today.
Okay. So, I'll start from the beginning.
Yeah, yeah.
I've been raised in Delhi. I started my schooling, my pre-nursery, etc., everything here in Delhi.
Okay.
And till my 12th grade, I was here itself. After that, I went to Nagpur for engineering.
Okay.
Uh, I was always good as a student
Mm-hmm.
because I really liked those rewards and recognitions.
Mm-hmm.
So, to put it blatantly, honestly,
Yeah.
yes, in the initial few years, it was that. And once I got used to performing well in acads, I had a lot of leadership skills in me.
Mm-hmm.
I was always the prefect, the monitor, this, that, all of that. I used to take a lot of initiatives. So yes, academically also, and with respect to co-curriculars, with respect to leadership, I
Yeah.
was pretty good. And I always wanted to be a doctor.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So, like in those days, it used to be the usual pattern that if you've performed well in your 10th grade, you go and take up science. And there were very few options. This is like about 27, 28 years back.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yes, I went ahead, I took science basically for my love for biology
Okay.
and to prepare for medicine. So
Hmm.
11th and 12th, I really worked hard. I toiled extremely hard. But then, as luck would have it,
Hmm.
towards the fag end of my 12th grade, and then we used to have our board exams around March
Mm-hmm.
and followed by entrance exams, etc. In the month of February,
Hmm.
I had this thought that no,
Hmm.
I am not going to even sit for the medicine entrance exams.
Okay.
Uh, it was by chance that I met a couple of older students who one was from Lady Harding, the other one was from Maulana Azad. Both of them were very good
Hmm.
in their CATs, and therefore they got into top colleges.
Yeah.
And I met them at some family function, and they were generally sharing their struggles. Now that kind of intimidated me, that if these guys are struggling and
Hmm.
they don't know where they are headed to, then I'm in for trouble, and
Okay.
the road ahead seems way too long. And I really don't regret that decision. So then I announced to my family, I'm someone who doesn't believe in doing anything under wraps. So I announced to them that I am not even sitting for the entrance exams. And my parents were shocked,
Of course.
because the entire family, extended family, everyone knew that I am, aspiring to clear the medicine entrance exams, this, that. And they waited for a while, and then they saw that no, I'm not budging.
Hmm.
uh, Fine. So I took my 12th grade exams. And after that, that time itself, so this is year 1997,
Hmm.
when I wanted to get into mass communication.
Okay. Okay.
And so I belong to a family of engineers. My father is an engineer, all my uncles are engineer, my brother was in Delhi College of Engineering,
Hmm.
my brother-in-law was an engineer, everyone. So I used to say that इतने आलू प्याज की तरह हमारे घर में engineers हैं, I'll do anything except engineering.
Okay. Okay.
By now, I think if I sum it all, there are 32 engineers in my family.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
and as they say, never say never.
Hmm.
So it was a ego hassle for my dad, and he was like, "You guys, today's generation, you don't want to work hard, and now you are, distracted." And he was suspecting me to be into, something else, into
Yeah.
relationships and this and that, right? The
Hmm.
usual suspects. And you don't want to work hard, this, that. And he said it in a tone which hurt me.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And now I was like, okay, I'm ready to study and work hard and do whatever. This is what you want me to do. Fine, I'll do it.
Hmm.
We
Okay.
went to Maharashtra. So those days we used to have centralized counseling for
Hmm.
at least Maharashtra, and whatever marks you've got in your 12th grade, it would help you, aid you get secure a seat. So I
Yeah.
got computer science in a good college. I went, did my engineering 4 years, and got campus recruited in Wipro Technologies.
Okay.
Unfortunately, recession hit
Hmm.
2001,
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
and before we could recover, it was 9/11.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
we were in bigger soup.
Hmm.
Then we started applying here and there, and TCS for me came, it was off campus Tata Consultancy Services. So
Okay.
then I ended up joining that. Initial few years, I was in Mumbai
Hmm.
and worked really hard. I was away from the family. We had our own, apartment. So now this was a time when we were financially independent, but
Yeah.
at the same time, uh, we really used to work very, very hard. So I still remember there was a time when, for about 3 months, I did not take a single break, not a single day's break, because the project was going into production. We used to work for, on an average, about 15 hours, 16 hours also at times.
Hmm.
And there were no other commitments.
Hmm.
So, yes, it kind of built that foundation. That time we didn't realize, but it
Yeah.
built
Yeah.
that foundation for hard work,
Yes.
and never to self pity that I am having to put so many hours and this and that. It was a way of life.
Okay.
Then after about 2.5 3 years, I was getting married. The guy's side was from Delhi, so it was homecoming for me.
Okay. Okay.
I continued to work
Hmm.
until I delivered my first baby, took a sabbatical,
Hmm.
uh, and then went back to work.
Okay.
Got into this mother's guilt, which a lot of us can relate with.
Of course. Of course.
Uh, yes, so I was in that dilemma whether to go to work or not. And again, I'm a kind of person, if I do a particular thing, I'll give my 200%.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, I will not want to cut corners. So either I do
Know
it or
that.
I don't do it.
We
My
know that.
life runs on binary number. Yes.
Yes.
So my life runs in binary number. If I know that I can't do justice to a particular thing, I'll shut it down completely.
Hmm. Hmm.
So that happened. I left my corporate career. It was another shocker,
Yeah.
but
Hmm.
um, it was a very calculated decision. It wasn't brash. There were reasons behind it.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then for about a year, I did everything that I could not while I was in corporate for the last almost 9 10 years.
Hmm.
Namely, the most precious of them was my afternoon naps.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Of
Yes.
course. Hmm.
I used to cherish it like how. So
Hmm.
afternoon naps, going on long vacations, international vacations, all of that, shopping, gossip, everything.
Okay.
And then by the end of 1 year, I was like, no, this ain't me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Why am I whiling away my time? I'm just killing time.
Huh.
By then, my son was old enough to start his school.
Hmm.
And I started thinking about starting something wherein I was productively busy.
Okay.
Now, this led to an idea of opening a lounge for moms and kids, which is a different, story by itself. It was a different episode.
Hmm.
But yes, it was a venture that I started with another partner, and a very niche concept at that point in time, because we had created a space where mothers could come with their children
Hmm.
and they could involve in a lot of different kinds of activities, from fitness to book reading to coffee mornings to spending time on themselves while their kids were also doing parallel classes in
Hmm.
the afternoon. So it was a very niche concept and a lot of workshops over the weekends. However, I delivered my second one in this time frame,
Hmm.
and what started off as being productively busy for about um, 3, 4, 5 hours actually became 12, 13 hours. So
Yeah.
yes, it was taking a toll on me. I had to take a call, so it was a tough decision, and but then eventually I took it and I closed it.
Okay.
By then, now my second one was big enough, and he had started going to school.
Hmm.
And I kind of invested myself the next 6 months. Was We were in a mother toddler session, so
Hmm.
took him to school, and parallelly I started running. So I needed something to keep myself productively
Yeah.
busy.
Hmm. Hmm.
And although I was very good in acads and co-curriculars, etc., but sports, I was negative. I wouldn't even say that I was zero. I was negative.
Okay. Hmm.
I would only cheer for my friends and my siblings
Hmm.
on the annual sports day and all that. So I said, and I knew, and I wanted to challenge myself. So I started running. Gradually, that 10 kilometers became 12, 14, 16,
Wow. Wow.
etc. And it was a very, very structured training that I got into about 4 days a week. We used to get up at 4:35 in the morning, go for our tempo runs, interval runs. There was a group called Gurgaon Road Runners, uh, and they used to really mentor us very well. And I started running half marathons, not only in Delhi, but we used to travel to different places like Mumbai half marathon, etc. So that kept me busy,
Hmm.
and I had that great feeling of achievement, that yeah, I'm doing something which I never thought I will be able to do.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
It Although it might appear a little bit of maybe vanity or insignificant, but sports teaches you a lot of stuff.
It
It
does.
disciplines you like nothing else.
Yeah.
It makes you mentally very, very resilient,
True.
because usually what used to happen is until 15, 16 kilometers we used to be fine. After that, the fatigue used to set in. So if you've not done your structured training, you
Yeah.
will not be able to pull yourself for the next 3, 4 kilometers.
Correct. Correct. Hmm.
All of that happened. And then in the year 2016, so
Hmm.
I also took this time to understand what is it that I really want to invest myself into.
Hmm.
There
Hmm.
were a lot of learnings from my previous startup, and I didn't want to repeat them. I exactly knew what not to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now it was significant to figure out what is it that I wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
And so I started learning photography, the technicalities of it.
Hmm.
Photography had been inherent in me. I had always seen my father with a Yashica SLR and all that gear, and I loved being a part of those frames even when I was a child.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so my chemistry with the camera was always there. The
Hmm.
first DSLR, and when I was in school, I still remember when I was in high school also, I always used to carry my camera. Those time it used to be a roll wala camera,
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah.
picnics and camps, etc. Then as we grew up, I had one in the hostel. Then the point and shoot camera came, the digital camera that I had. And I think my first DSLR was in the year 2009,
Okay.
wherein I bought this Nikon D60
Hmm.
as a birthday gift for my husband. I had
Oh,
exhausted all other options. And I
okay.
said, ab naya kya kare? To chalo theek hai, let me buy this camera. So
Okay.
he never, picked it up. I ended up using it to
Hmm.
document my kids growing up and blah, blah, blah. I used to shoot everything
Okay.
and used to feel that I have done wonders.
Hmm.
It
Hmm.
was only after I learned photography,
Hmm.
I felt, where should I go and hide my face? Because those pictures were so pathetic.
Yeah,
But nonetheless, it gave me a lot of joy.
I'm
Now,
sure.
2016, I started learning the technicalities of photography. And then next 6 to 8 months, I just spent shooting everything.
Okay.
Also, to understand what is it that I am good at
Hmm.
and what is it that I love to do. Because
Hmm.
one feels that, okay, this person is a photographer, but every genre will come with its own different kind of temperament
Yeah,
as well as technicalities.
correct.
And it's not the same.
Hmm.
So, a wildlife photographer may be very different from a portrait photographer. The gear will be different, everything will be different.
True, true.
So, I kind of dabbled across genres. There
Hmm.
were certain that I filtered out that this is not for me.
Hmm. Hmm.
Others, I never do newborn shoots.
Hmm.
I'm petrified. As a
Hmm.
mother, I've grown up my two kids, done with it.
Hmm.
And I'm a paranoid mother, so I don't want to take that responsibility of a newborn baby.
Hmm.
And yes, again, photography, like painting, it is an art.
It is. It is.
No one can teach you. No one can teach you writing, right? Creative writing. You may do a few workshops, you
Yeah.
may do a few courses to understand it structurally.
Hmm.
But beyond that, the more you do and more you like, if you are a writer, the more you read, you become a better writer,
True.
right?
True.
Similarly, for us photographers, also, the more we shoot, that is one, but conscious shooting. Okay, so the more we shoot and the more we study other photographers' work,
Hmm.
the better we get. We understand the lighting, we understand the mood, we understand a lot of different things. So, yes, I kept on investing myself in different workshops and I'm work in progress. It's hardly been about I guess 7 years that I've been into this.
Hmm.
There are people who are stalwarts and who've been into this profession for the last 30, 40 years. So, yes, we bow down in front of them. They
Hmm.
inspire us to no extent. But yes, all of us, we are work in progress, the
Of
newer
course.
generation.
That is always the case. I mean, whatever you're doing, you're always work in progress. But having said that, I, of course, love your pictures and I love the way you just, I mean, make everything come so alive. I mean, seeing your recent pictures from the event that we attended the other day,
Thank
and
you.
my God, I mean, they're like phenomenal. But yes, of course, as a photographer, you understand how you can become better. And like you said, we're always work in progress. Okay.
Right, right.
So, Rashmi, extremely fascinating to hear about your journey. And as I understand, of course, you did face challenges when you were making various kinds of switches. So,
Hmm.
could you elaborate on some of those challenges? And also, if you feel that some of the challenges which you faced were because of your gender?
Okay. Uh, well, yes. So these are two separate scenarios for me. One is at times we create challenges for ourselves because we are very boxed in our thinking,
Yeah. Okay.
right? So for me to break away from, so I was a techie till
Yeah.
the time I was in IT. I was a techie. I was handling a team of about 100 people who were reporting into me,
Mm.
and we were doing digitization for a particular bank in UK, which
Hmm.
was very sensitive. So that
Hmm.
was one domain.
Yeah.
Now, after I quit that, and I did not quit it for any other corporate opportunity. Everyone knew that I am quitting only to be more present for my child,
Yeah. True. True.
right? And after that, when I started this particular startup, that venture, I really put in a lot of thought into it,
Mm.
to address the issues and the challenges that I had faced as a new mom,
Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So encapsulated and found out a lot of solutions to address those issues. Now, once I closed that, to
Hmm.
venture out into photography was again another thing. So
Hmm.
what I feel is a lot of us, we box ourselves and we feel, अरे हम तो ये कर रहे हैं वो कैसे कर सकते हैं. So
Right.
my journey has literally been from STEM to liberal arts.
True. True.
So
True.
one is, do not restrain yourself. do not come under any kind of social norms, societal pressures, or anything. So there were some people who also questioned me, अब ऐसे दिन हो गए हैं कि तुम अलग अलग जाकर लोगों की फोटो खींचोगी. Yes, I mean, if
Yeah,
you put it bluntly,
yeah,
it
yeah,
could be
yeah,
that,
yeah, sure,
right?
sure. Hmm,
But you need to have that conviction in
hmm.
anything you do, anything.
Absolutely. I agree.
Whether it is personal or it is professional, once you have conviction and
Yes.
you have the right intention to
Yeah,
do that, it is half the battle won. So
absolutely.
one was that,
Yeah.
right? So yes, and to identify the challenges, like I told you, after I quit my corporate career, I knew that for me it was not an option to go back to corporate because I had quit it for a reason.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So what not to do? Now, after I closed down my second venture, again, I knew what not to do. It was not financially very viable.
Hmm.
Even though we had invested a lot and, I was putting in a lot of effort, about 12, 13 hours on an average, even during my pregnancy.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
was 9 months pregnant,
Hmm.
and till the time I went into labor, I was working.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, in the second time, been there, done that. So you are
Yeah,
a
yeah,
little
yeah,
more
yeah.
chilled out.
Yeah, correct.
You know, okay, now my contractions are 5 minutes apart, 4 minutes apart. Okay, it is time to rush to the hospital. So until
Yeah,
then, you're
yeah,
chilled out.
yeah.
Yeah. So, but still, it was not financially very viable.
Hmm.
So you also know when to pull the plug,
Correct, correct.
right? Sentiments are in one corner. On the other hand, you also know when to overcome your sentiments and be practical and pull the plug
True.
and then reinvent.
Yes.
Who knows? So I tell people, and I'm very fond of interiors, by the way.
Okay,
So
okay.
when
All
I
right.
am doing interior photo shoots for a lot of interior designers and architects,
Wow. Wow.
for them they get a bonus because in that package they also get styling done by me at no extra cost,
Wow,
and I
wonderful.
love to do that.
Yeah.
Who knows? Tomorrow I might be an interior designer.
You
So
don't
you
know
have to
yet.
be open
Yeah, yeah.
and let your life flow. You
Correct.
never know,
Yeah, yeah.
right? So that is one. Second, now coming to the second part of your question, which is gender biases.
Hmm.
Yes, I would say gender plays a very important role,
Hmm.
even in wherever you go. Okay, because of a lot of reasons, and we will talk about it. Be it corporate, so you would see a lot of people joining in
Yeah, yeah.
at the primary level, and then it becomes a pyramid.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
so the top management in the boardrooms, there is a reason why there are so few women
Hmm.
who are representing the boardrooms.
Yeah, yeah.
That is one. Nonetheless, even in any of the creative fields,
Hmm.
here also, let's say if I take the example of photographers,
Hmm.
you would see maximum number of women photographers who are either family photographer who do family portraits, maternity, and stuff like that. Okay, or maybe fashion.
Okay, okay.
How many women photographers would you spot in an event doing a documentary,
Yeah.
doing wildlife?
Hmm.
There are stalwarts. I'm not saying there are none, but
Hmm.
there are far and few,
Okay. Hmm. Yeah, I agree.
right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So, although I don't do much of wildlife, but yes, you've all seen me in events.
Yeah, yeah.
I do conferences, etc. So that is where a lot of people, because let's say I'm shooting a conference of 500 women, those 500 women, they see me, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And or maybe a book launch or something like that, they see me. But what they don't see is the documentary work that I do, and I do a lot of it,
Yeah.
wherein I am supposed to be in by lanes, and documentary never happens in five-star hotels and at
Doesn't.
very luxurious places. So for that, you always need to come down to a level where wherever you are going in gully kuchas, you are going on dump sites, you are going for NGOs, in chota chota khopchas, all that. So you need to come down to that level. Of course, you take care of your safety. There are other people from that project who accompany you, who are also giving you the context so that you know how
Yeah.
to shoot, etc. But those are places where there are very few women.
Hmm.
Also, but then it's about understanding what you want to do
Hmm.
and breaking those glass ceilings.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
There've been times when, so there is one particular picture of mine where I am shooting a book launch at a Delhi lit event.
Hmm.
Okay, this was just before COVID, and so I am clad in a sari.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
shoot a lot of these arty kind
Yeah.
of a things, wearing a sari, you know. So I am, on one hand, I am in a sari, but I have my big cameras and lenses and
Yeah.
all of
Yeah.
that. So one, people find it very difficult to digest that someone looking dainty and so traditionally clad, etc.
Yeah. Yeah.
She is handling all that gear, and not one camera, but multiple cameras, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So it is harnessed, so that is there. So I have this picture where I'm literally squatting and I am shooting, and on the other hand, the other photographer is from Hindustan Times.
Okay. Hmm.
So he's a HT correspondent and a photographer, and he's also shooting for me. And it's just my back, both of us, that picture has been taken from behind. So both of us, that picture speaks for itself. That to a large extent is
Yes.
gender equality.
Yes.
My gender does not define me, it
Yes.
does not restrain me. Of course, I need to take into account, I will not be brash, I will need to take into account my safety, etc., but it will not hold me back.
Yeah.
I will come back with the best of images, the best of frames. Why? Because I want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if for that I need to climb on a chair or on a table, I
We know
will do
that.
that.
We know
But
that.
yes,
We've seen you.
I will do that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I will grab my images. So
Yes.
there I'm a tigress.
Hmm.
There was a time in 2019 or 18, I think. Yes. So from my running group, there were about 75 people, a
Hmm.
big contingent that was going to Ladakh to run the Ladakh Marathon.
Okay.
Because I was a runner,
Hmm.
I understood all these intricacies
Hmm.
about when to expect. And there were people running half marathon as well as full marathon.
Okay. Okay.
So about their pace,
Hmm.
when to expect who. And I was shooting this photo story for these 75 people in the group.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
had to do justice to all of them.
Hmm. Hmm.
Right from their practice runs here to practice runs, a couple of them in Ladakh, and then the final day,
Hmm.
starting from 5 o'clock in the morning. It happens in September. So that time it was 6th or 7th of September to the time when they cross the finish line and they get the medal. I had to shoot every moment for every individual, right?
Hmm.
Now, I was the only female photographer
Hmm. Hmm.
in the media contingent. They were all Ladakhis.
Hmm.
They didn't like me being a part of them because for them it was, why are you taking away the business? But then I had to make them understand that I'm not bothered about the rest of the 4,000 people running. You please go ahead, capture those frames.
Hmm.
I am here only to capture that photo story for those 75 people from our group.
Yeah.
So there is no way that I'm a threat to your work.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
one they see a North Indian, an outsider, a non-Ladakhi as a threat,
Hmm.
and second, a woman.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She is sitting. So there is again a picture of me sitting with probably 14 other photographers
Hmm. Hmm.
who had those media passes, and I had to make my way because I did not have a formal media pass.
Hmm. Hmm.
So there was only a certain point till where I could go. I would not flout any rules. I respected it,
Hmm.
but I still got back with dossier of images
I'm
for
sure.
lifetime.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
So it's all in the head. We
It,
need to fight that,
so we need to,
and we
yes.
need champions, and we need
Challenges,
champions to support.
yes, challenges will also be there. We have to work our way around them. And yes, if along the way we can find people who support us, who champion us, very good. But if we
Not,
don't, we still have to, just
yes.
walk and we have to make our way. All right.
Right.
So, Rashmi, if you were to look back on your life, do you think there
Hmm.
was ever a person who inspired you or who you considered to be your mentor?
Many.
Okay, all right.
There have been many people in different walks of life.
Okay.
and mostly I would say women. Not that I have anything against men,
No,
no.
no.
But so when I was growing up, it was Simi Garewal.
Okay. All right.
Her grace, her elegance, the way she used to conduct herself,
Mm.
I was awed by her.
Okay.
I used to be glued to my television
Mm.
and watch Rendezvous with Simi Garewal. Therefore, my brand is called Rendezvous with Rashmi. It
Oh,
comes
okay.
from
So
that.
that's the reason behind it. All right. Okay. Okay. Got it.
And it also blended well with the kind of work that I do,
Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of stuff under that umbrella. So yes, so one was that. Then I remember year 1994 when
Mm-hmm.
Sushmita Sen bagged Miss
Yeah.
Universe.
Yeah.
I was again glued to my television set,
Mm.
and ever since, it's been 30 years,
Mm.
I follow her like how.
Okay.
Okay. I mean, certain things which, and I don't follow anyone blindly, but
Mm-hmm.
yes, her persona. What I like about these women is they have led their life on their own terms,
Yes.
very
Absolutely.
confidently,
Mm.
without coming under any societal and social pressures,
True. True. Mm.
right? Without putting anyone down,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
right? So, this is my life. I own my decisions, I own my mistakes,
Yeah.
and tomorrow, if it backfires, okay. I mean, I'm not got to decide and to foresee everything right now.
True.
But yes, you have to have, like I said, you have to have that conviction
Yes.
and you have to own. So my friends also tell me, "तुझे कोई FOMO नहीं होता?" I said, no.
Mm.
If I
Mm.
want to go somewhere, I will.
Mm.
If I don't want to go, I will not. At the same time, I will not put down anyone else who is going for that event or that outing or doing a particular thing.
Mm.
Due respect to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will do my own stuff.
Mm.
I
Mm.
might be a part of the bigger audience.
Mm.
And at times, if I see that no one is supporting that particular thought process, initiative, or whatever, I will set out all alone. And
Mm.
I've seen that people come and join you when they see that conviction in you.
Yes.
And this has happened during COVID. I've seen that. Yeah.
I can totally relate to this. They may not agree with you, they may even oppose you, may judge you, even, make fun of you, but when they see that you're going ahead,
Hmm.
they see something about it and then they decide to join you. Yes, I totally, totally agree with you.
Like if you remember when this 100 Sari Pact was launched, okay,
Yes,
in
yes.
year 2015 by Anju and Ali, and
Mm.
then it became a global phenomena. People from all across used to share their pictures, and we've done it. Both
Yes,
of us, we've done it as well.
yes, yes, yes.
Uh, lot of people. We also got a lot of trolls,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah, we
That
did.
it is just vanity that you want to do, you want to show off that you're wearing this sari, and you are just posting your pictures. But at the same time, and we did all 100, okay, so
Yeah,
once
yeah, we did.
started, it was very clear that it has to reach the finish line,
Yes, yes,
right? And along with that, we used to post stories around those saris, around those weaves. Again, the bigger idea was to help those weavers,
yes,
right? And to bring sari back into the uh, mainstream
yes,
fashion.
yes, yes, yes.
And I so vividly remember that at least there were 15 to 20 of my friends
Hmm, hmm,
who initially would say, Sari, oh, I got 5 saris in my trousseau, abhi bhi packed hai. Who will wear a sari?
hmm, hmm.
They converted.
Yeah,
They started asking me, where did you get this sari from? Acha mujhe bhi lena hai. And then I would say, you in sari? Yes, why not? I can also wear it.
yeah,
It
yeah,
was so heartening. And ever since, they have started buying saris
yeah, yeah,
and normalizing it, and they take pride,
yeah, they do.
you
They
know.
do. Right.
So, so yeah,
Yeah,
it makes a huge difference. Hmm.
yes. So, Rashmi, of course, I have seen your work and I am an absolute fan of the pictures that you take. So, I feel you're just the right person to give our listeners, to share with our listeners 3 tips which come top of your mind, which you have to give to anyone who's aspiring to be a photographer, a man or a woman, whatever. So, what are the 3 tips?
Okay. I would say passion.
Okay.
patience, and perseverance. Three P's.
Three P's. Okay, so passion, patience, and perseverance. Okay.
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Passion, you need to have that in any art form,
Yeah, true.
because the amount of effort that you put in, it does not really equate to financial gains,
Yes.
at least initially. Yes,
Yes,
it
I agree.
takes you a long time. So,
Hmm.
and especially for someone who's been into corporate, you always tend to compare that
Yeah.
there I was earning, if I had stuck to corporate, I would have done blah blah or reached blah blah. Okay.
Yeah. Correct. Correct.
Now you need to understand that the very fact that you are not doing that and you're doing this is because you followed your heart.
Hmm.
Okay, so I wouldn't say that finances is not a aspect. You need to take care of it, but you
Yeah.
need patience to reach there.
Hmm.
Again, for photography, I say that it is a blend of technicalities and creativity.
Hmm.
It is a blend of science and basically physics when you watch light. Okay, so
Hmm.
it's a blend of your creative juices and a little bit of science. Why science? Because you need to handle that gear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So you need, one, you need that know-how. Two, you need certain amount of it has to be inherent,
Hmm.
and then you need to persevere to analyze where you stand,
Hmm.
what are your shortcomings, and ready to accept. You need to be humble enough, grounded enough to accept that you need to brush yourself and reach a certain point. Though it is subjective,
Yeah. Yeah.
I may like a particular picture, you may not. That's fine. But even otherwise. And the third thing is patience, because in a lot of genres of photography, a lot of genres, okay, you need to be patient. Either, even if I'm doing a portraiture in my studio, okay, where I have everything which is a controlled environment,
Hmm.
but then maybe my subject would not be very comfortable in front of the camera, and especially when there are so many lights. I
Hmm.
need to be patient. I need to comfort them first and get them into the groove. So a couple of hours down the line, everyone becomes a pro. Okay,
Hmm.
because
Hmm.
now you've broken the ice. They are confident. They know how the pictures are coming. The same thing when you are doing a street shoot or a documentary which is totally unstaged. You don't have anything in your hand. You
Yeah.
don't have your subject in your hand, their expressions, lighting, blah blah, nothing at all.
Hmm.
There also, it really requires you to patiently observe your frame.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't even take my gear out in the initial 1 hour at least. I just go there and I study the scene.
Hmm. Hmm.
You study people, you break that ice, you have a establish a rapport with them so that they don't see you as an outsider, and you
Yeah.
blend with them. You have a chai, you talk to them about ghar mein kaun kaun hai, blah blah, depending
Yeah.
upon what you are shooting.
Hmm.
And then you observe patiently, you anticipate their next move, their next expression. This
Okay.
is exactly what you do in wildlife,
Hmm.
in sports.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so in wildlife also, there so you need n amount, enormous patience to be
True.
sitting there, because the animal will not come and pose in front of you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
If you don't have that, if your mind short circuits, then photography is not for you.
Hmm. Yeah. So very well said. Very well said. Okay. So Rashmi, we all have these two sides to our lives, the personal and professional, men and women both. But
Correct.
somewhere women have to learn to balance the two sides. I mean, there's a lot more pressure on them to do that from society. So as a woman, how do you do that? And what are your views on it?
Um well, I would say it is difficult, and you keep learning on the go.
Yeah.
All
Okay.
of us, we are again in this aspect also, we are work in progress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we are all learning from our mistakes, what to do, what not to do. And also, we women thankfully are communicative, so we don't shy away from sharing our challenges with other people.
True.
So
True.
I remember I was shooting this particular women led conference, and there were a group of panelists, all women,
Mm-hmm.
and doing great work, awesome work in their respective fields. And it was the same question. So, this question is very common
Yeah. Yeah.
in these kind of conferences, because all of us, we can relate with it, right? We face these challenges on a day to day life. And someone said, uh, that, see, it is very difficult to balance everything on a particular day in a particular moment,
True.
right? One
Mm,
day you may be a great worker in your office.
mm,
Okay, you may be great at the jobs responsibilities that you're taking care of. As an executive, you're taking care
yeah.
of, and you're great at it. The other day you may be a very good mother.
Mm, mm, mm,
The third day you may be a very good wife.
mm, mm,
Fourth day you may be a very good daughter-in-law.
mm.
Now we take upon ourselves, also because of the preconceived notions that all of us have, not only our parents, but then we take all that pressure on ourselves to perform on all these arenas,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
which is practically not possible. So it is
True.
important, for first of all, for us to understand that it's not possible. It is okay if I can do it in a time sliced manner.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Only once we understand will we be able to make others understand. Let us not beat ourselves up
Mm,
every single day. I
mm,
didn't do this, I didn't do that, wo homework jana tha, wo project work jana tha, but because I was in the office meeting I couldn't do. No.
mm.
So have a support system.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
that support system can be your family, your spouse, in-laws, your parents, or your staff.
yeah.
Pay them. It's
Mm,
an investment.
yeah,
Okay.
it is. It is.
So don't cut corners there. Pay them as much as you want, because whatever X amount you are paying them and keeping them happy.
Mm,
Also, sometimes you need to take their tantrums and all that. Do it, because it's an investment for
yeah,
you in the long run.
true. I agree. I totally agree. So, yeah, like they say, charity begins at home. We have to start
Exactly.
dealing with this in our own heads first,
Hmm.
believing, accepting that we cannot do everything perfectly every day. And then,
Right.
like let others know, and of course, reach out whenever we need help.
Reach out, ask for help.
Yes,
It is
absolutely.
brave to say that I can do this and I cannot do that, and
Yes,
therefore I need
absolutely.
help.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
reach out to maybe, and nowadays I think a lot of us, we are blessed with a very good ecosystem of girlfriends.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So uh, so let's say that I have to go. So right now as we speak, I have a few friends of mine who are vacationing in Goa.
Okay,
And while one child is with them, the other child decided not to go because they had studies.
okay.
And we said, okay, you go, enjoy. We are here, and we'll take turns. We'll take care of your child.
How sweet is
So
that?
that, and I'm sure, once this kind of an ecosystem develops, tomorrow
Yeah,
when I need help, I will also not be reluctant.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'll say, I have this to do. Can you take care of this particular thing?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
I send my child for this birthday party with you?
yeah, yeah.
Can you take care of their soccer class? We carpool any which ways. So
Hmm.
you have to devise ways to divide those responsibilities amongst your friends also.
So, yeah, I agree. I
And
agree.
it really makes your life very simple if you become friends with your children's friends' mothers
Yeah, I know.
or parents. Yeah.
That helps. Yeah, yeah.
So,
So, Rashmi, of course, apart from everything else and, the normal mundane of life, setbacks, disappointments, upheavals are also, they
yes.
regularly feature in our lives. So,
Right.
when you are faced with such a situation, how do you keep yourself motivated and resilient to be able to, face up to those situations?
Right. So, as much as we would all want to run away from challenges and have a smooth sailing, it's
Hmm.
not possible,
Yeah, it
right?
is. Yeah,
We are faced with setbacks of one nature or another.
correct. Hmm.
What goes behind the beaming smiles, no one knows,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
True, true.
So it is also important not to, first step I always say is, it is important not to be in denial,
Okay,
to
correct.
accept what
Hmm.
is the as is,
Hmm.
right? To accept that this is what my, where I stand,
Hmm.
these are my challenges,
Yeah.
and to sit back.
Okay.
You can't be running all the time.
Oh.
Like if you're running a race
Hmm.
and you have an injury,
Hmm.
how long can you drag yourself? Initially we all do that, we drag ourselves,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Yeah.
there comes a point where you can't take one more step forward
Hmm.
and you are forced to sit down.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the same thing in our lives also.
Okay.
Okay. As much as we want to ignore, be it any mental challenge, any emotional challenge, or a physical challenge.
Hmm. Hmm.
Let's say I have a backache. Okay. So I ignore it and I say, okay, kam par chalo.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
beyond a point, it cannot, it needs to be addressed.
Yes,
So,
I
yes.
agree.
So, the first step is acceptance.
Hmm.
Second step is now taking a step back
Hmm. Hmm.
and analyzing what went wrong in
Hmm.
whatever challenge you are, whatever nature of challenge it is. What went wrong?
Hmm.
Can you do anything to fix it?
Hmm.
So, it's like a flowchart. Yes,
Yeah.
you can.
Hmm. Hmm.
Devise ways to fix it.
Hmm.
No, you can't. You know, things
Hmm.
have gone overboard.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I accept that things are far from repair.
Yeah.
Then you need to have a strategy. What do I need to do to get things together?
Yes.
Also, don't brush your feelings under the carpet because it will not take you anywhere.
It won't. Yeah, I agree.
Address those feelings, analyze, ask for help. If you need a therapist, you need to talk to someone, have a life coach, have a business coach, have them.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
But you need to do like uh, and because I have been a techie, I have been in corporate,
Hmm.
my way of thinking even after all these years
Hmm.
has been very very structured.
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, you
Yes.
can't take
Yes.
that away from me. So
Yes.
I
Yes.
would sit back and I would do a Pareto. So, there was a time when we used to work for G, and there the first and the foremost criteria was all the associates needed to be Six Sigma certified.
Okay.
So
Okay.
when we used to do these certifications, it also helped us. It sowed those seeds of analyzing any situation in a very technical and a structured manner,
Hmm.
right? So there's something called the Pareto analysis where you feel that 80% of the problem is because of 20% of the root causes.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
you do your RCA, your root cause analysis, you understand that this is where the problem lies, and do a gap analysis. This is where I need to be, and now backtrace.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
do I achieve? Then you get all those, uh, ammunition to look the storm in the eye
Right. Right. Right.
and say, this is what I'm faced with.
Hmm.
Okay, I've taken 6 months to think over it, to brood, and it's okay.
It's okay.
You
Yeah.
need that time. Bigger the challenge, bigger is the time that you need to come out of it,
Correct.
right?
Correct. Hmm.
Even if you don't want to wash dirty linen in public, it's fine. You want to maintain your privacy, maintain that.
Hmm.
But at the same time, work on it. Getting into self pity will not get you anywhere.
True. True.
There are times when you need to charge
Hmm.
like a tigress.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. And the same thing applies to any gender, be it
Yeah. Yeah.
men
Yeah.
or
It,
women,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. So you need to also have some amount of positive thinking. You need to be spiritually grounded.
Hmm. Hmm.
I am the most apolitical person you will find. I'm the most irreligious person you will find. Not to say that I'm atheist. I do believe that there is a supreme power, but
Hmm.
I don't believe in putting those power into any boxes of any religion per
Okay.
se.
Hmm.
No,
Hmm.
I follow everything, but I respect all religions. For me, what is more important is your karma and spirituality.
Yeah. I agree.
I follow this practice of Nichiren Buddhism. I've
Hmm.
been following past 11, 12 years now.
Hmm.
And we get to learn a lot. There's a lot of literature that happens. There is a lot of meetings that happens. Today also we have one. So what it also teaches, it reinforces your faith
Hmm.
in your karma, and what is happening, it is happening for a reason.
For a reason. Yeah.
So even if you are down in dumps, you
Hmm.
have to realize that this particular thing is happening to me for a particular reason, which I don't know at this point in time.
Hmm. Hmm.
But this is an opportunity for me to do my own human revolution,
All right. Okay.
to brush
Okay.
myself,
Hmm. Hmm.
okay, and to emerge victorious. So one is that you stop begrudging.
Hmm.
You see it as an opportunity. All those obstacles, not as obstacles, but as opportunity. So, point one.
Hmm.
Second, you have that determination
Hmm.
of emerging out of it,
Hmm.
because winter always turns to spring.
Yes, it does. It does. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
you have to have that positivity. The only one thing that you that will carry you till that point is your intention.
Okay. Very well said. Very well said.
You intend to do something good, you will overcome all your fears and apprehensions and get there. It may take you time,
Yeah. Yeah.
but persevere. Be
Very.
persistent. Persistent.
So
Yes.
I can see that clarity of thought coming across, of course, with all the good intentions. So yeah, that structured thinking, I think, really helps. So,
Yes.
continuing with this, now you see these, of course, you have boys, but we see these young girls around us. And nowadays, of course, with the amount of information, opportunity available, sometimes it may be difficult for them to, make certain decisions in life. So, if you
Hmm.
are addressing someone, a young girl who's probably 18 or 19, at the on the threshold of her personal or professional life, what kind of advice would you like to offer?
Great.
Hmm.
The first and foremost that I would is one is I would tell all the parents and all the young girls to
Hmm.
believe in themselves. First of all,
Okay.
whether you are academically inclined or not,
Okay.
you also have to identify your strengths.
Okay.
Yeah?
Hmm.
It could be academics, it could be maybe someone is very good at writing,
Hmm.
expressing,
Hmm.
maybe someone is very creative. So
Hmm.
keep identifying.
Okay.
It's a again work in progress, but then keep identifying.
Hmm.
Believe in yourself. Second is fight if the need be. Fight for those opportunities. Don't sit back.
Hmm.
Okay. Uh, be assertive, of course, and
Hmm.
if the need be aggressive.
Hmm. Okay.
Right. For all the girls. So the other day, I was in a salon and I was getting some hair spa done.
Hmm.
On the next chair were two other girls, young girls, in the
Hmm.
age group of about 23, 24. And from their conversation, I could make out that they are there and they are talking about some prospective matrimonial proposals that they're. Both of them, they were talking and exchanging notes about what their family was proposing. ये
Hmm.
लड़का देख लो, वो लड़का इधर है, ऐसा है, वैसा है. So 15-20 minutes, I couldn't help but although I was relaxing and I had my eyes closed, but I was kind of overhearing and I couldn't resist.
Hmm.
And then I barged in and I
Hmm.
said, if you don't mind,
Hmm.
they were of course about 20 years younger to me. I
Huh.
said, if you don't mind, can I give you some advices from my own experience? And
Hmm.
they were amused and they said, please go ahead.
Hmm. Hmm.
And I said, never leave your financial independence. Today, you
Hmm.
might think so. What typically happens, and what I have seen, okay, we all say educate girls and this and that. So we've all come to that level where, irrespective of whether you have a son or a daughter, you are equally serious about their education,
Yeah.
about their
Right.
career. You will send them to the best of the schools that you can afford, the best of exposure, tuitions, career counseling, blah blah, everything.
Everything. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, what happens is till the time the girl child, is in school, she is performing very well, great.
Hmm.
Goes to college, she's performing very well, great. She's
Hmm.
also very competent, right?
Hmm.
She
Hmm.
thinks, acha, I am going to top the batch, I will work hard, I'll do this, I'll grab this job opportunity, this particular organization has come into my company, and this package is what I've got. Tab tak sab theek chalta hai.
Hmm.
हाँ?
Hmm.
Now is the time to get married. अभी
Yeah.
शादी हो गई.
Hmm.
Now some of them get very complacent. A lot of them
Yeah. They
get
do.
complacent. तो शादी हो गई. The husband is earning so well.
Hmm.
Maybe they are in a job which requires you to travel.
Yeah.
Okay, they are over. कौन job छोड़ेगा? मैं छोड़ दूंगी यार.
Hmm. Hmm.
Someone who is maybe a bureaucrat. I'm just citing certain
Yeah. Yeah.
examples.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
हाँ, कौन जॉब छोड़ेगा? हम छोड़ेंगे. डिफेंस में कौन जॉब छोड़ेगा? हम छोड़ेंगे.
Hmm.
बिजनेस फैमिली है. Oh, I have a fleet of cars. जरूरत क्या है काम करने की?
Hmm. Hmm.
कुछ
Hmm.
टाइम के लिए you work and then you're like, चल यार, let me chill.
Hmm.
So ये जो let me chill वाला है ना, either it happens then Or
Yeah.
yeah, and then their parents also. And maybe, so I've seen so many people who've been so good in acads and belong to business families. Some of them take it further, right? So they
Yeah, they
inherit
do.
their parents and all that. Some of them they do, some of them don't.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Not to so say that everyone lands up in trouble, no, but then what if you do?
What if you do? Yeah, that's the
Hmm?
point. What if you do?
So one milestone is shadi, the next milestone is having a kid.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
Unfortunately, so I here though I'm not even talking about in-laws, I'm talking about your own parents.
hmm,
They tell you, बेटा अब काम कर लिया ना इतने साल, you've proven yourself,
hmm, hmm.
अब तो बच्चे हो गए. So either they will put it in a way that you should look after your kids. See,
Hmm.
when I was, you were born, I was a
Yeah.
homemaker, I was there for you all the time.
Hmm,
Or they will say that why do you need to work? Or they will say that okay, you always have a chance to go back to work, whatever, blah blah blah.
hmm, hmm,
Now that is a point where I don't say you need to be a rebel. You need to weigh your pros and cons, do
hmm.
whatever it takes, be it diplomatic, take a part-time job, do whatever it takes, but always remain financially independent.
I agree.
You have lots of money, okay, fine.
Uh,
Do charity,
hmm,
okay, invest, buy stuff, do charity, go out, shop, give it to others who need, do whatever you feel like,
hmm.
but don't break that continuity.
I agree.
Because what if tomorrow you land up in a situation where, for god forbid, whatever reason,
Hmm.
either you lose your spouse or something happens and
Yeah,
you
yeah.
get into a financial crisis, or you want to walk away from marriage, let's say.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Half the people who want to walk away from their marriage stay in that abusive marriage only because of the fact that they are not earning. They
Yeah.
don't have those financial support. Are
Hmm.
they not educated enough? They are.
They are. They are. Hmm,
Are they not equipped enough to earn? They are.
hmm, hmm,
Okay. But they left all of that. And now it is not easy 15 years down the line to go back into the full fledged workforce. You
hmm,
don't have that confidence. Technology has changed. People ask you n number of questions. Why were you on a break? After 15 years, you want to come back. You're not sure about yourself. So never let that happen.
hmm, hmm, hmm.
Work till the time you can.
I agree.
And
I
not only work, earn money.
earn money.
So by
Yeah.
working, I don't say just be productively busy, which
Hmm,
a lot of us we feel. And
hmm.
so yeah, we do a lot of stuff, but we don't monetize. There is no shame in monetizing.
There isn't. There isn't.
Yeah. So whatever you're doing, follow your passion. There is a thin line between passion and making it your bread and butter or whatever. Do that.
Yeah, I agree. Very well said. That I think financial independence is the key to so many things and so many,
Yeah.
issues that we face later in life. All right. Rashmi, we, of course, as far as, gender equality or gender bias is concerned, we are working towards it. People are having conversations. People are, kind of taking steps to, as much as possible to reduce the difference, but then it still exists. So
It
according to
exists.
you, what are some of the challenges or some of the biases which women continue to face despite such measures being taken all across?
First, we need to start believing in ourselves.
Okay.
The society has to change. See, it's a cascaded effect.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
first, once we are sure, we are assertive that this is what we want to do,
Hmm.
okay, then we go ahead and you know we uh, we fight for it.
Okay.
So there is a change in the society, in the mental setup,
Hmm.
and therefore the infrastructure also changes. So I also hear that there was a time when I think this was someone, if I'm not wrong,
Hmm.
I think Sudha Murthy herself. So she had to really fight for her first job at
Hmm.
Tata
Yeah,
Motors,
yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah. Right.
Because although she was a topper, but when she approached the Tata group, they said, "You're very good in studies, very good in acads, but we don't want women because here
Yes.
we are in manufacturing,
Yeah, yeah.
right?"
Remember, yeah.
He broke that glass ceiling.
Hmm. Hmm.
There are times when I've heard, and I keep hearing a lot of podcasts and stuff when I'm especially working.
Hmm.
like processing pictures, etc. And
Hmm.
I hear in so many instances that there are so many people, even in, I guess, courtrooms.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay, so they are these women advocates who are
Hmm.
fighting, but there are not female restrooms there,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
only when you fight for your cause, there are not only, first of all, as I said, there has to be a change in the mental setup,
Hmm. Hmm.
and then there comes a change in the infrastructure
Right.
and everything else that supports you.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
You have to fight for your cause,
Hmm. Okay.
and you have to have, gradually it will increase,
Hmm.
all the representations will increase. Like there was a time where we only saw women in education,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
in
Hmm.
schools and colleges, that you are a teacher. Now you see women doing so much more.
Of course, you're a case in point.
Thank you. So yes, we need to keep fighting for it, and the society will eventually change.
So, like with everything else, this is also work in progress, and we have to start. The challenges are there, biases are there. We have to kind of be prepared to face them,
Exactly.
fight them. Yeah.
Push
And
comes to shove, you have to be prepared अपने पंजे निकालने के लिए.
bus, वही बात है. So,
Yeah.
in that context, what role do you think platforms like these, on which we are
Hmm.
currently, and others like these,
Hmm.
what role do you think they can play in, making us help take our case forward?
The first thing is awareness.
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay. So there are a few pillars which are awareness. Let's say that there is a lot of awareness, okay, but people are still sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
People
yeah.
know we can do. There are others who are doing, but
Hmm.
they are still sitting on the fence.
Hmm.
What programs like these do?
Hmm.
There are a number of podcasts which are, flourishing these
Yes.
days, and what they do is, one, it shrinks the world. You
Yeah,
get to know about more and more people, all these TED talks, Josh talks, all of it. Okay, you
yeah.
also understand when people come out and they openly talk about their challenges.
Hmm.
Okay, people also understand that if this person can overcome those challenges and make it so far,
Yeah,
why can't I?
I agree.
It is absolutely inspiring.
Hmm.
It also opens up avenues.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
even if, let's say that in a particular sector you think that, यार मैं क्या करूंगी, आई एम अ वुमन, मैं
Hmm.
कैसे जाऊंगी, but
Right.
when you listen to these stories, these are all case studies, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah, of course.
when you, and it's not gyan, someone has already done it and
Yeah,
so many
yeah,
people have done it, right?
true,
So that increases your propensity to propel yourself forward.
true, true. I agree.
It
That's
inspires like nothing else, because
yes.
these are true life stories.
Absolutely. That is the point. Because these are, like you said, these are case studies, they're real life stories. People, women have actually done it. So the amount to which you can get inspired, I think that
Hmm.
increases exponentially because this has already happened. So I can also
Right.
do it.
Yeah. And you can also reach out to those people, right?
Of course,
So
definitely.
for an example, yesterday I was looking at the media contingent that had gone to Paris Olympics,
Okay. Hmm.
of journalists and
Yeah, yeah.
photographers. Uh, Fortunately, I personally know about three of them.
Okay. All right.
Uh, and in that contingent, I could see only two women.
Okay. All right.
Okay, something. So I don't say that I am there yet,
Hmm.
but yes, there was something in me
Hmm.
which told me, why not me?
Yes, of course, definitely. So,
I
yeah.
do cover events, I do cover some sports also and
Hmm.
all that. And why can't I aspire to be amongst them?
Yes. Very well. Very true.
So when you see something in front of your eyes, it's not just preaching, it's not just fictional, it is real,
It's real. It's real. And
you
that
know?
obviously inspires more. Okay.
Yes.
So coming to another, topic, which is, of course, become very topical and a lot of people are talking about it, which is about mental health. And here, of course,
Hmm.
both men and women. But
Hmm.
since women go through so many changes, in their life,
Hmm.
and because of which they have I feel, a greater tendency towards mental health issues. Do you think in today's world we are giving an adequate or equal amount of attention to women's mental health issues as compared to men, or you feel there is no difference? I mean, both are getting, I mean, equal amount of attention.
Not at all. So I would say here I would differ a little bit, and I would say that there is no impetus that is given to mental health, be it man or woman.
Okay, okay. Mm-hmm.
Men intrinsically have this habit of, being very closed.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, they are non-communicative and they are in denial.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them.
Most of them,
There
yeah.
would be exceptions, but most of them, because they feel that they are not in their masculine if they accept that they need help,
Yeah, yeah,
or they're feeling low, or
yeah.
they need to go and see a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say 90% of men will shy away from that. They
Mm-hmm.
will not want to get to the root cause of a problem only.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay. We women are more vocal,
Yeah, that is,
and we are more open to accepting, asking for help and accepting help.
I agree.
That is there.
Mm,
However, what happens is a lot of people, okay, in when they get to know that someone is going to a medical, mental health practitioner,
mm,
they judge. There's a
yeah.
lot of judgment, right?
Mm,
So they will judge. And सबसे पहला जो आएगा वो ये आएगा, क्या जरूरत है जाने की यार, डू मेडिटेशन, huh?
mm.
Do some spirituality, get
Mm,
into something, read good books. So I don't deny it is helpful, it is, but then, you know, bigger your challenges, your mechanism to fight them back,
yeah,
okay, that also needs to increase
of course. Mm,
and intensified.
mm, mm,
There would be smaller challenges wherein you meditate and you calm yourself down, and you read good self-help books, and
mm,
you attend these talks and it helps.
mm, 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 mm.
There would be some other challenges where this is not helping,
This
and
is,
you understand this is not helping.
mm,
You've tried that, being there, done that, you've tried that, not that you haven't. Now you go to level 2,
mm,
which is you talk to someone,
mm,
which is maybe your friends or relatives or whoever you think that you can confide,
mm.
again because they are not qualified enough
Yeah, yeah.
to address those issues beyond a point. Then maybe this is also proving to be ineffective.
Mm, mm,
There is no shame in
yeah.
going to a professional asking for help.
Mm,
In the first place, that professional can be a life coach, can be a clinical psychologist, can be a therapist, whatever you call them. There are slight differences between
yeah,
each
yeah,
one
yeah.
of them technically. So whatever they call them, the idea is to open up,
Mm,
share your problems,
mm.
so that you get a solution.
Right.
There might also be a case where this level also fails and
Mm,
you may have to go under medication.
mm, mm, mm. Right,
Okay. Now the general phenomena is, मैं पागल थोड़ी हूँ कि मैं दवाई खाना शुरू कर दूँ.
right.
No.
Mm,
You have to accept that maybe at this point in time you are so distraught that nothing is working out.
mm,
Okay. And yes, there are professionals who will analyze and evaluate
mm.
what is the complexity level. So it is not one size fits all.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Right.
And then accordingly they'll recommend you that for some time, maybe for 3 months, for 6 months, for 2 months, whatever it is, continue with your therapy, but go for these medications because this is what it is needed. Of course you do other stuff also, like you work out, you get your body in motion so that you have those happy hormones, you're doing all of that.
But yeah,
But there's no reason why you should shy away, and this can only come along when we normalize and
yes.
we spread awareness and we tell our stories. So at some point in time I would love to share my stories about and my journey, about how I navigated. There have been times when I have gone to a
Mhm.
lot of therapists, and yes, it doesn't make you crazy.
It doesn't. It doesn't.
You go to the therapist so that you don't turn
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah, I agree. It's like
Yeah.
anything else. You need help, you reach out and you
Yeah.
take that help. But
And
first of all,
takes
accept.
it takes strength to accept that
Yes,
in public,
yes,
and we need champions for that.
yes, we do.
Then only we can normalize it.
Correct, correct. So, Rashmi, there's another thing which I see around myself, and I think you've also done it, I've also done it, which probably may not exactly qualify to become that, but then I do see that a lot of people in their midlives, 40s and 50s, are now starting to switch to professions and vocations which are diametrically opposite to what they've been doing so far, like, doctor
Right.
taking to writing or painting, whatever, and which I have termed as midlife rebooting. So what do you
Hmm.
have to say about that? I mean, is it good or bad, and how is it different from how it used to be for our parents or the generations before that?
Well, if I have to put one word to it, I would say it is liberating.
Okay. Yeah, which it is.
What
Yes.
used to happen was, until our parents' generation, they
Mm.
were under that constant pressure of providing
Yeah,
for
yeah.
children,
Hmm, hmm.
for their family. A lot, major section of the society had only one earning member.
Yeah, yeah.
you know uh, in a lot of households, the mother was, a lady was not working,
Hmm,
and then you had, let's say, two kids or three kids or whatever. It
hmm.
was just the man, so they never had that option of doing anything else.
Right, right.
Also, they were always the providers.
Hmm, hmm,
Now in our generation, fine, we've studied a particular thing, we've done something, and we're comfortable. So the
hmm,
idea is, once you are comfortable, you've
hmm,
saved enough, you've invested enough, maybe you've bought your house, you are done with your basics, so
hmm.
your basics in life have been taken care of.
Yeah, yeah.
Now you can afford to experiment.
Hmm, hmm,
And maybe you were doing a particular thing, not to say that you detested, but
hmm,
maybe you studied a particular thing, you were into, you did medicine, you worked very hard, and after that it's been about, let's say, 20 years, 25 years that you've been slogging
hmm,
as a medical practitioner, okay, as a doctor or whatever you've done.
hmm,
You're very happy,
hmm.
but at the same time you have other interests also.
Yeah, yeah. Hmm,
Okay, so maybe you want to leave your core area of work, or maybe you want to continue, but at the same time you also want to do other stuff parallelly.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
You want to read more,
Hmm,
you want to socialize more,
hmm,
you want to maybe invest yourself into some other passions
hmm,
that were there, maybe until your school college you were nurturing, but after that you never got an opportunity because you had too much on your plate.
hmm, hmm,
Like
hmm.
we all know,
Yeah,
our friend, I'll not name, but our friend who is an awesome eye specialist,
yeah,
and yeah, she's
yeah,
nurturing her passion, so hats off to her. Every single time that I meet her, I'm like, how do you manage to do this? How
yeah.
do you practice for your recitals? She's a Kathak
Yeah,
exponent, right?
hmm.
Now doing performances and all that. And sometimes when she also posts about her rehearsals in between the surgeries, that
Yeah,
I
yeah,
got about 20 minutes time. The OT was being prepared, and that was the time I decided to do two more rehearsals. Hats off
yeah,
to them.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
they are also able to do that because, one, it is very fulfilling
Hmm,
for
hmm,
them,
hmm.
because they extract so much of joy
Yes.
by doing this particular, pursuing this particular passion,
Hmm,
which could be dance, singing. I see a lot of my friends who are recording their songs in professional sound studios now.
hmm,
Why?
hmm.
Because by now they have वो कड़की वाला time चला गया. They've earned, they have settled their kids, or by now they're comfortable in their own lives that they can afford to spend that X amount on
True.
their passions.
Hmm,
One, to learn, maybe to learn that singing. Second, to record that.
hmm,
So now they go ahead and they do it. Now the joy that they extract from there,
hmm, hmm.
it drives them further to be a better individual, a better mother, a better father, and this is gender
Of course.
neutral.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
a better employee at work, and spread that joy in all facets of life.
yeah.
There are people who go for camping, for
Hmm,
mountaineering,
yeah.
right, for hiking.
Hmm, hmm.
So yeah.
I agree. I agree. This is so fulfilling and so enriching. You just feel a
Yeah.
more complete person in that sense because you've been able to fill those little gaps which kind of,
Yeah.
stayed unfulfilled.
And
So,
you've not signed up only to do that particular job that you've been doing
yes,
for the last 2 years.
right, right. So finally, Rashmi, I mean, what do you see for yourself in terms of your personal or professional, aspirations in years to come?
Well, I have a lot on my plate with
Okay.
respect to personal and professional commitments now that
Yeah.
my children are growing up.
Mm.
My older one is now in 11th grade, so the next 2 years, you've been there, done that,
Yeah.
college admissions, counseling, this, that. So, all of that is going to be there. My younger one will, by the time he's done, my younger one will grow up. So, yes, apart from, and that's a part of everyone's life, I think.
Mm.
But yes, high school becomes important. So one is that. Once they go into college, then they are on a autopilot, I
Yeah.
would say, to a
Pretty.
large extent.
Hmm.
Yes. So one is that. Apart from that, professionally, this is a field where you keep brushing your skills
Yeah. Yeah.
along the way. So yes, I have a lot of aspirations with respect to coming up with coffee table books, a lot of different kinds of exhibitions, doing a lot of meaningful work where my work also makes a huge amount of social impact.
Great. Great.
Where on one side I do a lot of glam portraits, okay, which also goes a great way in making people feel good about themselves,
Yeah. Yeah.
and those brands and this and that. At the same time, I also want to work hard on the social sectors.
Okay.
It could be paid,
Hmm.
it could also be that there is no money involved, but I'm very clear and honest about it, that if I
Yeah.
see that this sector is getting funding
Hmm. Hmm.
from above, सबको पैसा मिल रहा है, तो I might as well get that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
If this
Absolutely.
particular cause has to be taken up, but then there is no money which anyone can spend,
Hmm.
no
Hmm.
one is getting paid, I'm fine putting in
Yeah.
my labor.
Yeah. 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 True, true.
So
So,
like that. And then yes, sky's the limit. So
of
like I
course.
said yesterday, when I saw that media contingent,
Hmm.
something in me told me, why am I not in that picture? So let's see
Yeah.
how things turn up. Yeah.
Yes. And I think when you manifest, you do get it. So, here's
Yes.
wishing you all the best.
Fingers
And
crossed. Thank you so much.
the world is your oyster. All right.
And I'm blessed to be surrounded by so many nice, good, encouraging people like you who support us
Thank you.
every step of the way, and that feeds our, intentions
Yes.
and our, decisions to make it bigger.
I think we all need that. We all need
Yes,
that. And we are there for
yeah,
each other. And I think that's the best part.
yeah. Be
So, okay,
blessed.
Rashmi, the rapid fire round. 5 quick questions, 5 quick answers.
Do I get that coffee hamper also?
Ah, well, maybe you would. All right.
Okay, well, I have my coffee mug with me.
Yeah, you do. All right. So, the first one. If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Compassion.
Okay. All right. Next. What is your favorite type of music?
Bollywood.
All right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Don't judge me for that.
No, no, why? Why? It's a choice. Even I love Bollywood. All right. Next. What's the funniest thing that has happened to you during a photo shoot?
Mm, falling off from places.
Okay. Considering that you love climbing up tables
Yes,
and chairs, yeah, I can imagine
yes.
that. Okay, next.
But then I have the
Yeah.
ability to laugh at myself, get up,
Yeah, and
and
I
then
think
get
that's the
going.
best
Yeah.
way. That's the best way. All
Yeah.
right. Next, what is your favorite way to relax after a long day? How would you unwind?
Getting a head massage done with a light, soothing music
Oh,
and
lovely.
nice, good aroma.
Okay, great, great.
Yes.
And finally, if you could be invisible for a day,
Hmm.
what would you
Hmm.
like to do?
Something. So I am saying something which is not politically very correct, but then I would actually go ahead, considering that our judiciary takes forever to punish the perpetrators. I
Hmm?
would actually go ahead and before, I mean, I would ensure that justice is served and people get back what they do to others.
Great, great. That actually, I think a lot of us would want to do that.
Yeah. It may sound violent,
But
but yes, at
sometimes,
times you do
yes,
feel.
yes, you do. You do. I totally agree with you. So, Rashmi, with that, we come to the end of this episode. And if I may say, and I should, that it was absolutely delightful having you. And of course, the structured way, as you said, you put your thoughts across everywhere. It made so much sense, and then it made everything sound so logical, so relatable. I'm sure our listeners will enjoy listening, and they will, have a lot to take home from this conversation. So thanks a ton. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you, Sangeeta, for having me over. And I really enjoyed the conversation. It was as if we are just having a coffee chat.
Yes, which
Yeah.
is the whole idea. So, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you.